Yes, people. Are we live? I'm gonna get some more people tuning in first before we really get busy. I want to give it 2 more minutes to hope that I get some more eyes on me. Tell a friend to tune into the YouTube or the Facebook stream right now. It's on. It's gonna be going off tonight. Good evening, people. You can probably see I was out in Sandoval Valley from the video that I just played. That was me taking an early morning advantage of the free time to go and get some sunlight. The conditions of quarantine, as we can all feel, gradually will grind us down if we don't do things like exercise or speak to each other or remember the things that make us human. So yesterday was an incredibly interesting day for me, a point of reflection. Of course, it's Easter. Of course, it's all about resurrection. But what on earth does new life mean, and what kind of a disjunct is there when there's all this new life around and yet this backdrop of extreme death? 10,000 people sadly losing their lives in what I still think is a preventable crisis, an avoidable crisis. The next few weeks, all we're going to hear is people avoiding blame, trying to shelve responsibility for the very obvious fact that this system has failed us. This economic, capitalistic, in fact, not even capitalism, cronyism has failed us, and the marketplace is utterly inadequate in terms of taking care of us and looking after us, our loved ones. So that piece that you heard was supposed to represent or reflect at once the majesty of creation, the beauty of nature, but sort of ambiguity, because there's almost death as the flip side of all of this creation. I'm going to get into some more music first and foremost, but please comment on the YouTube channel. Leave your comments on Facebook. I'm going to be integrating them into the show towards the end. And if you like what you hear, please do go along to my Patreon page, patreon.com/Soweto Kinch, one word, SOWETO KINCH. Support me. Make sure you click on it and you'll get access to all sorts of exclusive links. For those people that paid tickets for the very first week of this live stream as well, I ain't forgotten you. Expect something very, very special coming soon to you. But keep supporting. I know the Eventbrite's doing some kind of weird stuff. I ain't even too bothered by that. Let's just get into some music. And of course, leave your comments. The more interactive this show, the better. Pull up a drink, pull up a chair, shake your booty. Let's do this. Good evening. If you're just joining us, if you're just pulling up a chair and tuning into this YouTube session, it's about to go down. I'm going to make some switches and some changes and stuff and so forth here and leave you with a video. But this next piece, in case you haven't seen it, you're one of the few people who haven't clicked on the link. This is my lyrical response to the madness that's going on right now. This, provided everything works smoothly, in
Hey, 1 2 1 2. Let's go. Hey, but 1 2. What they said? Keep sweeping toilets, driving trucks, but neoliberal dogma won't stop bodies from piling up. They don't want me checked, so I'm not on the death registry. Is this ostensibly why they're not testing me? For 3 years past, the NHS has needed CPR, so now we see who they claim to be, who they really are. Now bolt the doors and lock your homes. The re-smog stock just rose. We're all in this together till you're on your own. We see you, yep, we really see you. We see the trails of the receipts from the elites that feed you. We see you, yeah, these people venal. You'd rather keep your seat with evil than heal the people. Yeah, we really see you. We see the trails of their receipts from the elites that feed you. These people venal. You'd rather keep your seat with evil than heal the people. January seems so different today. Back then it was just yellow people in some distant place. Hugging and kissing's just Italy's way. We're plucky, herd immunized Brits. We're a different race. Hooray to your racism's filling up graves. We see you demonizing, so we won't point the finger of blame. They said they're following the medical advice. So who gives up? Give some extra pensioners die. Probably best to text to tell them goodbye. Funny how the ones dying are the poor and the melanin types. Maybe they want to teach us that there is no different system. Why get PPE when we got hand-wringing and symbolism? See, we're the cleverest. We're the exceptional ones. We don't need ventilator schemes. We're getting Brexit done. 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 Getting done. We see you. We really see you. We see the trails of their receipts from the elites that feed you. We see you. Yeah, these people venal. You'd rather keep your seat with evil than heal the people. It's unlikely they might treat you in the ICU as well. Poor people have life needs too. This crisis might be the first time that eyes have seen you, because the virus doesn't discriminate. But these do. Thought they might slow their attacks on us. Thought they would be magnanimous. But it's just madness and animus. I guess they just pray we don't turn the cameras and see they lied for our votes and happily abandoned us. Billionaires and the crypto fascists, no excuse when the system crashes, because they take the truth and they twist it backwards. They could have invested, but the cash is addictive. The herd immunity strategy made no actual difference. It was you having a picnic. That's what did this.
check, mic check, 1 2 1 2. Yep. Coming to you live and direct. That was We See You. A lot of direct references to the political situation and what precisely is going on right now. I find commentary through music is sometimes easier than commentary in this way, but please leave your comments on the YouTube page and they'll always give me some sort of stimuli, some interesting lines of inquiry. I like to know that other people are thinking and feeling the same thing that I'm thinking and feeling at this time. It's obviously alarming, and at the same time as feeling utterly powerless, I'm also aware of a groundswell of people who aren't represented in the mainstream media, who aren't represented in our political parties right now, who want to speak up, who want it to be known that somebody has to take responsibility for the mishandling, as I said, of this crisis. You can't compare Germany's figures and the UK's figures and not realise that something political has gone wrong. Political choices have cost us lives. But I said I wasn't going to talk too much. I'm going to leave that to a really good friend of mine. What's going to happen next is I want to drop this for you, but it needs a bit of background. There's a whole lot of conspiracy theories flying around the interwebs, as you can see. David Icke conspiracy theories, 5G conspiracy theories. Like, I'm not knowledgeable enough to dismiss it offhand or to accept it either way. I'm keeping an open mind on all of these things. But once in a while, one of your brethren just like gives you a lightning bolt of clarity. And I'm not saying I agree with everything he says in this, but it was so funny it had me falling off my chair. A lot of you are in WhatsApp groups where we're getting loads and loads of videos and contradictory messages. Well, this just felt like a breath of fresh air. I'm not going to give you too much background, but I'm just going to say big up to my Pen Talk bedroom them. All the Pen Talk massive internationally in Canada, in Florida, in Birmingham and beyond. Wales, this is how we do. This is Natural Opinions.
And don't even get me started on the 5G bullshit. These niggas, y'all, again. Oh, what's wrong with black people, man? You see, this is what happened. Next month, we'll be back on the Chinese are turning plastic into rice. Not a bomb cloud wrong with them. We're not fucking sense. We're not fucking highly intelligent people are not going like on no damn sense. What happened to them?
Sure.
Trying something. Burning down a 5G tower, Virgin. You don't know, so they have fucking thousands, hundreds of thousands of those fucking things sitting there chilling.
Word.
You think burning down one tower is gonna change a fucking thing? No. 5G tower not doing nothing. It's not causing disease. It's not blah blah. It's not doing anything more than any other radiation or radio wave on the planet right now that we're being bombarded with and have been for the past 100 years is doing.
Facts.
Okay? My God. When is intelligent, man, when I walk around a hop on 5G, I ain't nobody a cuss about 4G when it did come out. Or 3G, or 2G, not even 1G did get any kind of attention when people should have more scared of technology. But 5G, suddenly 5G are the problem. 5G are cause disease, 5G are put chip under your hand, 5G is the almighty thing. Is that what I'm saying? I don't know, it a control people mind. Where am I doing? I don't know, so I not get control for a long time. Eh?
Facts.
You don't know, say the whole system we live in is all about mind control, Virgin. What I'm talking about? The fuck? When I pick me off with the shit, man, about being passive. Fucking getting a criminal record for burning people's property is not, it's not being active. It's being stupid.
There you have it, people. One very strong perspective on this whole situation. Whatever the merits of 5G poisoning or demerits, the fact that people are burning masts is kind of dumb. We're bereft of real reliable information, so we don't know who to trust. We're in a land of superstition. I'll say this, I'm going to hopefully talk in more detail in future weeks about the current situation with the Labour Party. But one thing that I will say that Jeremy Corbyn is gifted to lefties, to people who just want a better world, irrespective of what side of the political spectrum you're on. 10 years ago, certainly before his tenure as leader, we were all just talking about conspiracy theories. It's quite mainstream. There was a lot of Alex Jones videos put about the Bohemian Grove, or you name it, David Icke. A lot of these people had a lot of currency 10 years ago because there was nobody in the mainstream or even on the fringe who was articulating a sense of powerlessness that we had. What we've seen with Jeremy Corbyn, his leadership, and of course the machinations that were going on behind him that were all being revealed in this report, is that you don't need to believe in lizard people or some cabal of secret conspirators behind closed doors. You can see them. There is no clandestine Illuminati. Those elite interests who are determined to destroy a better world and stop it from happening are right there. You can name them, you can find them, you can identify them. And the point is, they're opposing because Corbyn wanted to make a material change to people's lives. Those are the things that we should focus on, not some nebulous idea that, like, how do we get out from under the control of the lizards, or all of these things that render us powerless. We still have power. And what's happened in the Labour Party with 500,000 people effectively being gaslit is that we do have power. We still have that power. I'm not sure if I'll stay in the party or not, but the fact that that change has happened and been manifest, and that so many cliques, so many powerful interest groups have worked against it, is something we should never forget and actually take courage from. I feel like I've spoken way enough. In all of this heaviness, I sometimes feel like mirth is important, merriment, joy, and my good brother Michael Mwenza once described swing, the process of what is swing. Joy. Swing is joy. Swing is that element in the music that produces joy. So This is a little random ragtime that I wrote today, and let's do this. Please let me know by the comments if the saxophone sound isn't very good or anything. I've got a bug mic this time, so it should have taken care of everything. But let me know, please. I'm reading your comments gingerly. Let's go. All right, let's call that the warm-up out of the way. This is a little message for Ecamm and all these people producing the software for web streaming. If you know anything that can fix, like, what do you call it, latency issues, I can hear it perfectly in time, but I'm hoping that you at home can hear it perfectly in time. I'm going to wear my headphones and get into this swingmatism. Let's go. What do you know? This is the total wrong version of the track. I'm going to move on and come back to it later. But for now, I hope you enjoy completely new beats that I've been making this whole week, over the past 2 weeks. This first one is called Peace and Quiet.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much.
I see you people. I don't see you actually, but I feel your energy. I'm seeing some subscribers subscribing. Any comments will be heartily appreciated on the old YouTubes. You know what I mean? I'm going to continue on with some DJ-ness and hopefully find the correct version of this ragtime tune while that happens. So if you don't mind indulging me a little bit further, I'm going to play another previous video while I find this whole new track, the proper version of the new track. I'm loving this live streaming scenario. It's difficult sometimes, but I'm getting the hang of it. By next Monday, I'm going to be Jay Leno over here. That's what I'm talking about. Not the Jay Leno live streams, but you know what I mean. So, yeah, in the meantime, please enjoy this video.
Hey, hey, 1 2 1 2. Let's go. Hey, but 1 2. What they said.
All right. 1 2 1 2 1 2. I'm having a wonderful time with streaming, as you can see, stopping my computer from doing anything functional. But hopefully, this ragtime piece will work. We'll soon see. All right. Sorry for the false starts, people. This is the real deal now. Enjoy the Easter springtime background. Here comes the rag. Yes, that was fun. I'm gonna start to integrate some of your comments really soon. But because of this slight computer malfunction, the last disclaimer I promise, I'm gonna have to take another 2-second break and switch over to the other beats. it's going to be worth it, trust me. When we come back, I'm going to perform 2 pieces from the Black Peril and then hopefully a legendary freestyle. So bear with me while I play you back this. One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yes, indeed. We back. Oh, yes. I want to warn you ahead of time that this is a headbanger. I even got a name for it. Bubble and Strings. Let's go. This needs to crank up a little bit more. I hope you guys have got a drink. If you don't drink, I hope you guys have got some water. It's about to go down, in other words. Let's go. I want you all to shuck out wherever you are. Make sure you're shucking out to the maximum. You know what I mean? Shit. That's what I'm talking about. Come with it. Okay, don't come with it. Man, it was so nice when this works seamlessly. Here it comes. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, that'll be why. Woo! Seamless! Well, I'd like to do something else for you people now, you wonderful, beautiful YouTubers. I'm gonna big up everybody on YouTube. Unfortunately, the Facebook thing is acting a bit weird, so I'm gonna shout out everyone on YouTube who's remarking and commenting. And in fact, I'm gonna use that for the freestyle. Mr. Lihu, it's been way too long since I've heard or seen from you, so thank you. And anyone that wants to leave a comment on YouTube, please do so. Anyone on Facebook watching, please leave a comment on YouTube, and I'm gonna incorporate it into the final freestyle of the evening. But first off, I'd like to perform a couple of pieces from my latest album called The Black Peril. One of them in particular seems and feels particularly relevant right now in this time of irresolution. My whole Black Peril album was inspired by race riots that happened 100 years ago, and this particular song explores, well, the fact that there never seems anywhere that we can call home as minorities, as people in this country. If you've been studying the information, the science, you'll know that coronavirus is affecting black and brown people disproportionately. Not because we've got some special genetic dispensation, but in fact because we're the ones thrown into frontline care work. We're the ones thrown into low-paid work, living in crowded areas and crowded housing and crowded apartments, and it has obvious impacts on our health outcomes. To some extent, like, very little has changed in 100 years. Of course, some things have got more and more easy, but the idea that we don't fit here is still something that causes is cause for reflection. I think there's enough bars in the song itself, so without any further ado, this next song is called Unknown Destination. I'm getting good feedback on the fact the microphone's audible, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it. This is Unknown Destination. Or is it? Oh yeah. Of course it's just vanished. Relatively seamless this week, guys. Here it comes. Eventually, when I drop it in here, it's gonna work. It always works fine in sound check and then stops working afterwards. Here it comes. Alright. Here goes.
Destination, nation destined. Fresh devastation festers and hate set to detonate.
Where's the destination? Where we headed to? Be the best, be exceptional, be legendary, memorable. Sign a pledge, the king depends on you. Use your legs, you're expendable. Let the moves, death troops, let your fruits. Shoestrings instead of leather shoes, never chew. Never gets to level 2, never gets to prove. You don't get to prove it. Music when you never gets to broom. Get the juice, get arrested, then the rest of residue. Fetch the broom,
No empty room, 7 to a bed on the ledge, on the steps, strapped to straight, better beg for food. People weapons, mobs headed to you. Rocks, pebbles, or a pellet wound. Straight spinach, jewels, get shot, 7 heads protruding, dead bodies, 20 squaddies left in ruins. Who left what's left in ruins? No headstones, you don't get a tune. No one your past to enter in the room. No medics, you meant to get refused. Blindness, diffused, lose, let them lose. I did never prove, kind of mixed fruits from the loose web. Pictures never left, or get confused with the news. 27-7 terrible. Sedentary, unsettled, set to work with no set of tools. Disrespect the tiny specs, set to work, who sets the rules? Who says it so? Who says it so? Second row, second to the second row. 7th row, pressure choke us. Pressure close, then hold, wireless, desperate weather's broken. Hope that the hope is please let us home. See? Never seen the same go home. This is no hope. Don't be so approach it, don't go in. Don't be so good. Thank you. Give it up. I said, give it up. Give it up. Jeez. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I hope everyone can hear you nice and clear. Nice and clear. Anybody with a candle needs to say with me. The second piece I'm going to perform is also from Black Peril, The Black Peril, available now obviously on Spotify, on all good streaming platforms. I'll know more about that in the coming weeks, but first off, this second and final piece I'm going to perform from the album is again written to reflect on how, as people, minorities, black and brown people, we've often been demonized. Even today, I think they're going to try and pin all this madness on China rather than their own dodgy decisions. 100 years ago, they spoke of the Black Peril as almost like an epidemic, a disease which would cause society to decay. They also had the Yellow Peril, which was a description given to the threat of Chinese men selling heroin and seducing white women. So these ideas, in fact, a lot of these drugs weren't illegal until minorities started making money off of them. That's a whole other story. But be very wary of a language which demonizes or others people just as a way of absolving blame. That's what's happening right now. Anywho, this piece is called Savages. Savage trace, savage manners, savage race. Young and low, can't stand your face. Get to roll, beat the galley slaves. Back away, don't have a trace. Have banished different man race. Or replaced, or eradicated. Cannon body, you just back and waste. Tell them lies to get back in place. Break the and back chains. Canes, those savage slaves. All we do is stab and savage base. Blacks and black, tap, savage place. You face girls, your son of God. Somehow then it was multiplying. Come up and the sun on the rise. They the slums running riot. False alliance. Almost fight. All liars. I saw the science. You saw the science. Shit. All right. Trust me, this is so gonna work one day. Smooth. Tune in next Monday, where you'll see effortlessly, totally seamless links and tips and all that. Getting better each other. I have a whole bunch of comments right now. Let's just have a look. Who's feeling that? You've got 17 viewers here on YouTube and some others. Yeah, tell your friends. And if you like what you've heard, please do go and support me on Patreon, patreon.com/thewebsitepinch. There's going to be a whole lot of unreleased material that I'm going to be offloading onto fans. You know, people who are going to support me for obvious reasons. Remuneration ain't what it has been previous months. And I understand a lot of people will be struggling just to afford meals and so forth. So if you can make a contribution, please, heartily appreciate it. And I understand if you can't. But I feel like now's a good time for some freestyleness. And in that time on the tradition, I'm going to try something a little bit different, which includes a bit of a stop clock. See if this works. Yeah. No, not that. We're going to go for like a 3-minute total countdown. See if I can make this happen for exactly 3 minutes. I've got to pause it because I'm still talking to GC. And I haven't even got an assortment of comments. Again, I can feel you. I can't hear you directly in my house. That'd be weird. But I can definitely feel your energy on YouTube. I've got all these comments right here. And hopefully we're able to make the Facebook ones another time. But here it comes. Yeah. Go. So in case you haven't got it, I'm gonna the next 3 minutes, no pauses, no repetition. Yeah. Let's go. 1, 2, 1, 2. On the track, on the microphone, I'll be looking on YouTube for all your comments. Excuse me, beg your pardon. Just take a minute. Tell me to the passing. That's the way it is, boy. That's the way it is, lady. I'll be on the microphone, your brain just a bit crazy. Because you know that it's all good. I'd like to say Ty Brooke, yeah, it's all good. Because you know I got a crazy flow. I like the way you said, good to hear you play, bro. Yo, I got a ugly rap. I'd like to give it up to all you with the double clap. And that's the way it is. Because you know I heard it on the track. The dude said that it sounds perfect. And it sounds neat. Yeah, I sound on the beat. And you can see I can't hide the sound neat. So my brain might burst. Big up Rocky Ho, I remember him in church. And when we used to pray for them, you see my brother step, you don't get for what? And then he went though. It's like, you see, started like a flash flow. Me the fresh flow. Yo, you don't know me, I'm not sure Tokyo. What's that emoji? Never quite seen it before. I'm in the store, you see I'm freestyling all day and freaking raw. You call your favorite drug, I'm coming underground. You see I got sub. And you see I'm from the 60s, like kind of people I'm freestyle, kind of trippy. Like I said before, to get with me, I'll be Houston, but not like Whitney. I don't even know what that means. When's the vaccine? Because I'm on the track till it's back me. Telephone you on Claude and Nancy. That's the way we bring it on the mic, yeah, I'm rap free. Cause you hear this, you can see that I'm here with flavor and I'm getting loose.
So everybody would choose pick up Judah, playing along the clarinet. And that's the way they bring it. I don't know what to say, but freestyle ticket. What? I'd like to say time. Spark it up. It's okay, man. We got the crazy flow. I ain't no angel, bro. I ain't got no halo. It's okay, though. You get your spirit, yo. I'd like to get your spirit up to the stereo. Hey, yo, she coming in stereo. I'm on the freestyle tip. Yeah, prepare the flow. Settle. I don't know what you said, something about black curl. But yo, heavy. I like when the people get they love rhythm. That's the way we give them. Yes, embolisms. I'm saying, but I'm speaking with precision. So listen, yeah, the flavor on the mic, I freestyle much later. I don't like writing a paper. I like just drive 50,000 guns and laters. Yeah. Is that oh, still got 8 seconds left? Yeah, I have my ready break. What can I say? We gonna bring it. I need another beat. Something that's wicked. Wicked. That's such an old word. You know what? If you're still talking on YouTube, you're still check. Too much I should take I haven't gotten it, so you would have yourself some. Because I'm truly way with one. And if you like my flow, I'm spitting everything. That's still one slash. So we're okay. I'm closer than a wedding ring on the microphone. Just spitting on everything. Yeah, I'm on the run. All the world is 45. I see. Probably a million. That's the way I'm jumping. My mind right Brazilian. That's the way the wind is. I'm like the lyrics. I'm on the microphone. And that's the way I'm slapping. I'm rapping. Die. So all that happened. For up, down, upstairs, and anybody was remember that can't let us back to make sense. Because I'm like sweetly, I'm not sure what's happening with the 5G, but I will be upon the mic. I can't find my that's the way I be. I'm starting on the microphone. That's the way I hope the time and days are something. This is the fresh beat. On the microphone, yeah, never beat. Until the next make sure you tune in next week. So you can clear the whole way. You can see them having fun for next Monday. And you can see that I'm up for me. You can see I'm rocking under here in quarantine. That's how hip-hop sounds. But it's hot now. You got now. Because you got down. And you got found. Next week at the lockdown. Word! Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, brethren and sisters, I hope to see you all again next Monday for yet again another flawless, totally flawless, and a whole bunch of original music streams. I'll see you at the lockdown sessions next Monday. Peace!